the very young age, I've been a victim of body shaming. There was this impolite and discourteous guy in my class.
Mm-hmm.
Every single day, like, he'd pick on me, he'd call me names, he'd like push me, physically bully me.
Good God.
And yeah, he'd bully other people also. Like, he'd call them names, he'd call them dark, he'd call them kala, kawa, kallu.
Yeah,
These are the words in Hindi. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना, छोड़ो बेकार की बातें. Someone else's body is none of our business, and we should be
correct.
mindful of what we say to other people. Nobody should ever be made to feel sorry for what they look like,
No.
or don't be their version of you, be your
Yes.
version of yourself. Open Up with Karan, featuring this time Miss Medicine, and she's from. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So she's from Australia, and so hello, ma'am. It's so nice to have you on
Hello.
my show.
Nice to be here.
So today we'll be talking about body shaming.
Hmm. Yes.
So, like, ma'am, I'd like to start off by asking you, like, what's your take on body shaming?
What I think it's terrible, and I think that the internet has a lot to answer for.
Yeah,
I think we see a lot of images on the internet that are unrealistic. The Kardashian body. Everyone wants the Kardashian body, and they think, honestly, there's girls out there that believe and are told that if they exercise, they will get that body. It is never going to happen.
it's
You're going to have to.
impossible.
It's impossible. You are not going to have that
Yeah,
body. It's not natural. So it makes people feel worthless because they can't afford a BBL. They can't afford breast implants, so they work out. And of course, after 6 months of working out very hard, not much changes.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
then I think it's the internet that causes that. I also I feel a bit sorry for people that shame people on their physical appearance because
Yeah,
most of the time we can't help our physical appearance. I remember when I was young, I got shamed for my nose. I've got a lovely nose, I'll have you know,
absolutely.
but it wasn't that cute little Hollywood button nose. So while I was a teenager, the one thing I wanted in life was a nose job. I just went, oh my God, get rid of this nose. I like it, but everyone else hated it. So it made me think that I needed to hate
Oh
it. So,
God.
but I got over that. Now I love my nose.
Yeah. So, like,
But
have you ever experienced body shaming?
apart from my nose, and as I was a teenager, as most girls when they're a teenager, we start to change from a young girl to a woman, and our bodies kind of put on weight before it works out where this extra weight has to go. It kind of
Yeah,
just it's everywhere, it's all around your chin. But yeah, of course, we were, we didn't all look the same like the Hollywood stars. We didn't look like the skinny girls. So yeah, of course, and it was I'm lucky because I'm 60, 61 years old. So way back 50 years ago, 45, 50 years ago, they could
okay.
only like shame me whilst I was there. There was no internet. They couldn't chat me. They couldn't message me. They couldn't WhatsApp me after
Yeah,
school. So once I got out of school, I had, you know, 16 hours of the day to forget about people bullying me. And then the next day, they've had 16 hours of other stuff to do. So they forget about you. So in
yeah,
those days, the body shaming and the bullying kind of lasted for a day and then they forgot about it. Whereas
right.
nowadays, kids go home from school and get on their laptop or get on their phone and bully, 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 body shame, bully. Like it's
Yeah, it's
constant,
everywhere.
24 hours a day. I think that
Yeah.
needs to be addressed.
So, ma'am, I used to be on the heavier side.
Did you?
Yeah. So,
Well, I'm
from
surprised.
like, yeah, from the very young age, I've been a victim of body shaming.
Hmm.
Like, from my family to my relatives to my friends, or, even some random stranger walking on the street,
Yep.
they'd
Yep.
all body shame me. Yeah.
So what did you do? Did you feel that you had to starve yourself, or did you,
No,
how
I
did it
never
affect
really,
you?
no, it affected me like enormously.
I
So,
could
like, what
imagine.
my classmates did to me was just like, devastating and painful. They'd
Hmm.
all call me names, they'd all like make fun of me every single day at school.
Wow.
So, like, all those experiences really were really horrifying, I feel. And I'd like to admit that all those things, like, I'm not completely over it.
No,
It
oh,
still
I
haunts me.
don't. Sorry, I don't think
It's okay.
there's some Australian dogs. I don't think we ever get over it. Like even now, I get dressed, and I still see myself. Do you still see yourself as a fat person?
No, because I worked on myself very much.
Right.
But to be
Okay.
very honest, I didn't do it for myself. I did it for
Mhm.
them. So it's something that I don't like. I never really wanted to lose weight. I was happy for
Okay.
the way I was. Yeah. But I
Okay.
had
Well,
to do
that's
it because,
interesting. To stop
yeah.
them. So you had to. They bullied you into it, and you had to. Wow. How frightening for you.
And even my
But I mean, you
friends,
look great. But
oh,
you
thank you
would have
so
looked
much.
great. But everyone judges. It's like the dating apps now. It's like you get a picture, and you judge on that
Yeah.
picture. We judge on the picture. You go, oh yeah, nice, not nice, nice, not nice. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
we're judging on appearance. No one wants to
Oh
meet
God.
anyone anymore. Yeah,
So
it's
what my friends used to do? I didn't really have those many friends, but I only had like two, three friends. But sometimes I'd expect them to like rescue me or like take a stand for
yes,
me.
yes.
But instead they would also become a part, they would also join them, and they would also laugh and enjoy and make fun of me.
Peer pressure, peer pressure. I kind of feel
Yeah,
sorry for people that have to point out someone's um, body shaming, body shame people, and then they get the rest of the guys just like join in, and most people feel obliged to join in. You like feel, oh,
yeah.
everyone else is doing it. I don't want to be the odd one out. And
I
another
don't want to
thing
be
is,
uncool.
if they're picking on you, and your friends are there, and there's a group picking on you, I'm not going to draw attention to myself because they may turn on me. So they might go, oh, you're
Oh,
trying to stick up for him. Well, look at you. You're no better. Blah 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 blah. So
absolutely.
it would take a lot to stand up to these groups of bullies.
Yeah, it requires a lot of courage. So nobody should ever be made to feel sorry for what they look
No,
like.
no,
Or there are so many
no.
people constantly reminded of, you're supposed to look in this way, you're supposed to be slim. So I mean, it just
Yes,
sucks.
it sucks. It's bad. And imagine if everyone in the world looked exactly the same. Then we'd be
Yeah,
complaining that there's no variety. So
yeah,
it's just because someone finds say I'm used Kardashians. Some guys find Kim Kardashian very attractive and they love that shape. Other guys think it's horrible. So
yeah,
it doesn't matter what you look like. There's always someone that likes what you look like. It's just human. We're human. It's like trying to
yeah,
change your
absolutely.
color. Like if you were victimized for being black or Asian or Islamic, what's that got to
Yeah.
do with it? You can't help that.
Yeah. So
Absolutely, yeah.
someone else's body is none of our business, and we should be
Correct.
mindful of what we say to other people.
How many young teenagers suicided because of body shaming or bullying? I think we'd be shocked. I think we would
Absolutely.
be really, we'd hang our heads in shame. It's disgusting. It really is. It's so sad to see this happening. But I think it has to come at the ground roots level. I think parents need to take
Absolutely. They
a
need to
bit
have
of,
these discussions.
they need to, you can see when your child is young if it's a bit of a bully. And
Yeah.
children learn by what they see. So if I'm sitting here talking to my friends going, oh my God, you put on so much weight. Look at you now. You used to be skinny. What's happened to you? And my child hears me doing that. They think that's okay. So then they go to school and say to someone, oh, you're fat. So you've got to be
Yeah.
mindful of what you do in front of your children. And then when you
Yeah.
see them doing things that aren't appropriate, pull them out. I see
You
parents
need to stop them.
just,
Yeah.
it's like it's too hard. Like they watch their children doing something completely wrong and they just go, oh, don't do that. And then forget about it.
Yeah,
It's
you are
like,
right.
seriously, parents need to get a grip and set some boundaries. And I think that's what's
And
happened. We don't have boundaries anymore. Everyone's allowed to do anything. Everyone's allowed to be what they want, choose their
absolutely.
gender, choose their whatever, and there's no
Absolutely.
boundaries. So everyone's just pushing, 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 pushing to show off or to be the odd one out. I don't
Yeah,
know.
absolutely.
I
And
don't know.
there was this impolite and a discourteous guy in my class.
Mm-hmm.
Every single day, like he'd pick on me, he'd call me names, he'd like push me, physically bully me.
Good God.
And yeah, he'd bully other people also. Like he'd call them names, he'd call them dark, he'd call them kala, kawa, kallu.
Yeah,
These are the words in Hindi. So, I mean, his demeaning and hurtful remarks really devalued my self-esteem.
absolutely,
It
absolutely.
really
I
broke me on
wonder.
the inside.
Yes, I wonder where he is these days. Like, did he go through his working life?
No, he
Bully
sometimes
work
talks to me on
colleagues.
Insta.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he does, but I blocked him because I don't want to talk to him.
No, I would just be interested to see if he's successful in life. I doubt it. My love, we all believe in karma. I do
Karma.
anyway.
I do believe in karma.
Absolutely.
What
I
you
go
do is what you get.
what you do. And another thing, like you say, I say to people, You know, what people to say about me behind my back is none of my business.
Absolutely.
I can't change it. I can't.
I don't care about what other people have to say about me. I
No,
respect myself, and more than that, I love myself,
that's
and
what
that's
you
what
have
matters.
to. You have to realize no one can judge you. You can only judge yourself. So you don't do it for someone else.
Don't be their version of you, be your
Yes.
version of yourself.
Yeah.
And I just want to say to all those people who are facing body shaming or who are like constantly reminded of how they should look, I just want to say that your size, your complexion, your height, all these things have nothing to do with your beauty, but
Correct.
your values define your beauty.
Absolutely. Very well
That's what
said. Very well said. Yes. Absolutely. 100%. I agree with you.
thank you.
So if you do see someone body shaming or bullying someone, stand up to them.
Absolutely. Don't
Join
just
the
be a
person and say,
bystander.
don't be a
Yeah.
bystander, because
Don't be an
there's safety in numbers. And as much as the bully can gather numbers to feel all important, you can be the victim's numbers as well and make the victim stand up and say, that's enough.
because now that I've experienced it, I could say that when you are getting bullied, when there are like so many people who are like bullying you, sometimes you cannot take a stand for yourself, so you
No,
expect
it's
your
frightening.
friends or
It,
others to fight for yourself.
it's
Yeah.
that fight or flight. And if you can't run away from them, you've got to stand there and fight. And sometimes you just can't. It's intimidating. I don't think I ever stood up to the bullies. I think I
There was,
I just got away from them and wish the earth would open up and take me away and just go home. So I don't think I ever really,
yeah,
confronted any of the bullies. And
yeah, even
maybe
I
as
didn't.
he's, yeah, maybe during school when that first started happening, I tried to become a bully.
Oh, really?
Maybe, I don't know. There was times where it just seemed like to stop people picking on me, I could pick on them first. So I don't remember
Oh,
any, but that just brought that back then. Actually, I was just thinking at school, was I nice to everyone? And I thought I really, there was this era, there was a stage there where I wasn't really nice, and I wondered why. And I think it's because I was so bullied, and the bullies were so respected. I wanted to be them, but
okay.
it
Yeah,
didn't work
that's
out very well.
interesting.
It was yeah. I've just remembered it. So there you go. You brought back a horrible memory for me. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm sure
There
it
is a
didn't
saying in
last long. I
Hindi.
don't think that phase lasted long.
Yeah. So there is a saying in Hindi, like कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना, छोड़ो बेकार की बातें, which means that people would always say something or the other thing, and
Mm-hmm.
we should not let their opinions affect us.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say, like, when people throw stones at you, you should not throw them back at them. Instead, collect them and build an empire.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
That's what I like to say.
Beautiful. Thank
So,
you.
ma'am,
Wow. So
so very much.
thank you for talking
Thank you
to
so
me.
much for doing.